All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Main Entree, a podcast brought to you by Desnudo magazine. I'm your photographer, your editor-in-chief, and your host, The Entree. And I'm here with my broski, Ed, a.k.a. Ed Charmed. Yeet.
Wait. Ed Charmed. Come on now.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm thinking of Charmed. Sorry.
It's okay. Everyone that I come across is charmed.
Oh my gosh, here you go.
Oh my god.
So this is one of my friends from back in the day. We met in 2012. Wait, how many years is that? Can you subtract?
That's 8.
8 years?
8 years.
Can you believe?
Oh my god. 8 years.
And you know what's
in
crazy?
Orlando.
In my head, I can't imagine you with the short hair you had back then. As you guys can see, the ones who are watching on YouTube, Ed's hair is pretty long. And
I just
back
cut
in the
it,
day, he had like not pompadour, but like a coif, and like it was like faded on the side, and like...
It's what you call a blowout with a little hair up top. But I decided to grow my hair out because I just felt like where I was living,
right,
everyone was looking the same. And
in Orlando.
Well, no, before that I was living in Philadelphia.
Okay, yes.
In Philly, in North Philly, everybody has a bowl cut. Mm-hmm. I mean, not a bowl cut, a blowout. And everyone has like a white t-shirt. Everyone just looks the same. And right. I was so tired of that. I was kind of like getting into my own as far as like wanting to model or do something creative or do something that was outside of my norm.
Okay.
And I started to grow my hair.
Right.
That slowly started to give me confidence and more confidence.
Hey.
And then now I'm here. And I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I stuck to it because there is a weird, awkward phase that you go through when
the in-between phase when you grow your hair out. It is butt weak. You look like it is. And like the thing is, even if you wear a hat, sometimes like this kind of hat, if you in between, you're still gonna see it. It's gonna be growing underneath it. It's gonna be a mess. You wear beanies, but it's too hot in Florida or wherever you're at. It might be too hot to wear beanies.
Exactly.
Like, it looked weird, so you got to.
And like I know people who try to keep that up, where they'll like shave the sides of their head so that it doesn't get frizzy here, so that they can at least like maintain it. But I wanted to grow my full head of hair and not like have to upkeep. One, I didn't want to pay for haircuts anymore, and two, I really wanted the look.
I just shave my head because I don't feel like paying for haircuts.
Okay,
I ain't going nowhere, so let me just.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if you can do your own hair, do your own hair.
Your own hair. And
long hair, for me, I've learned so much.
Though? I imagine wanting to cut this all off because like I'm tired of it.
I would say out of the year, there might be
long hair in high school, and it was
if I were to say like throughout the whole year, I would say 3 days out of the whole year I want to cut my hair. I want to cut it all off. But out of the rest of the year, I love the fact that I have hair. Okay. I'm okay with the maintenance because I've learned how to deal with my own hair. Everyone's hair is different. Mm-hmm. I can I've got it down to a pack where I can wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. And
I knew you were
I
knew it, dude.
I had to. But yeah, like I would just do very low maintenance stuff to it. So I would put product in it. I don't wash my hair every single day. Oh. So the product that I do have in it, I can, when I get in the shower, wet my hair and like rinse it out, and I still have some kind of
why don't you
something
do
in it.
YouTube videos about your hair? I've been telling you playing this game.
I've done the YouTube thing, and
you ain't do no YouTube thing.
I did the YouTube thing.
You post a smooth 3 videos. Oh, I did YouTube thing. Oh, it was the time of my life. Man, if you don't get
Listen, I did YouTube, and there's like 4 or 5 videos, not just 3. And it is very well, I'll say this. It is time consuming, but everything is. And I think that
now
you just need to.
So what's the excuse?
I got a job, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, he said I'm booked and busy.
A 9 to 5 job. A 9 to 5 job I have. So that takes up a lot of my time.
Right.
And then I am very much a lazy body. I am.
Too.
So like when I get home from work, I just roll up a blunt and then just chill. Yeah.
I get it.
During quarantine though, I was very on it, and you were the one that inspired me when he came to my house for a week.
Yeah, we made some videos.
And he got me going. And then when he left, I was like, Dion, don't worry. I'm going to like stay with this. I got you. Don't worry about it.
New iPad Pro to produce videos.
And then I didn't. But I mean, I also got into OnlyFans and I got into more erotic artwork and stuff.
Before we get into that though, this season on the podcast, we have this questions of the video. I still have a name for it. That's what we're calling it. And we're going to answer these questions. You guys feel free to answer along with us. If you're on YouTube, type it down. If you're on Twitter, tweet it to us. Let us know. And the first question is, if you had a full year off with pay, what would you spend your time doing? I think I would, a full year and I got paid, I would, it's so weird because I would want to produce more episodes of the podcast or produce series, use that time to do that, even though that is, in itself work, but I would want to do that. I would want to because for some reason I get my life from seeing filmmaking stuff. I've been watching a lot of how to make commercials, how to this one YouTuber makes all these cool commercials with spinning bottle tops and all these cool things. If I could just not have to worry about the rent and having to worry about money and just I can focus on that, I would do that. Even though that's work in itself, but I learn a craft like that will be great. If I could, use any extra money I have to buy better equipment to just do my thing, I would it'd be so fun. I know people I would travel the world. I mean, I guess I would travel, but if I'm not doing nothing while I'm traveling, I don't care.
See, I think I would mesh the two. I think I would travel, but everywhere that I do travel has to have some kind of work artistic aspect to it.
Okay, what would you spend your time doing though?
So I would.
Money, not an object. You got for a whole year. You can have all your bills paid, and you got.
So I would set up. I would set up shoots in whatever city or country I'm going to.
Doing photo shoots.
Artistic videos. I kind of just want to network and go to these different spots, get to know different people who are important in the realm and in the world that I want to be in. So if I'm going to go to these places, I'm going to connect with other models, photographers, videographers, painters, blah blah blah, so that I can have that point of reference when I go to Madrid, when I go to California, when I go to Amsterdam, wherever I'm going, I can have a point of reference with somebody. Singapore. Yeah, you know.
But crazy? Yeah, I didn't expect us to have such a work ethic answer. What would be the? Because I don't know. You know what it is. If you love what you're doing, it's not work. How about
Amen.
that?
Amen.
Because in my head, people will most likely say some type of leisure thing to do.
Yeah.
Maybe a hobby, but nothing that's
too strenuous.
Our answer is that's just work, y'all. I'm you're right. It is, but
it's work that feeds your soul. So
labor of love.
Yes, I'd rather work hard for something like this than do something.
The things we want to do does take money and time and energy. So if we had all our bills paid and we got paid, paid time off, it will alleviate stress.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I did have that feeling for a very little while during quarantine.
Oh.
When we had the stimulus check come in, when we were on unemployment.
Good.
I had money coming in and I was okay with bills, so I can freely just sit back and do videos and try to really figure out a brand for myself and what I want to do professionally and all that. I have a professional life, but I want to have a professional, creative, successful life.
Right. Well, the next question is, what sparks your creativity and makes the wheels in your head start turning? I would say for me is typically other photographers. I would see their shoots they do and I get so hype. I never felt the envy that some other people feel. Some people, I remember first coming to New York City and people feeling envious of some photographers who can do photography full time or don't have a day job that keeps them from doing their photography. Me being one of those people, I was doing my photography, and I remember photographers just liking me and feeling ways and kind of like getting their feelings. And I remember these same photographers, I would get my life from and feel so inspired to do the most, even till this day.
I think that like there's a hint of worry and fear. I don't even have a. There's a hint of worry and fear from that person that you might come for their gig, and that's why they're jealous. Because if you were like you or me, where you look at somebody else doing the same thing and they're killing it, you're automatically like, oh my god, yes, you're doing it, and I want to do, and I want to be on that level. But there's people that look at that and be like, no, I can't have him come up to where I'm at.
I had that even when I stayed in Orlando. That's what started in Orlando, and having my peers. One of the things people used to tell me all the time was, I just so happen to photograph pretty people. That's why people like my work.
Oh,
I remember that being one of the defining things that I was told by people I worked with, look up to. They told me that straight up. I heard it a few times. Now, looking back, and even today, I can't say I disagree. The people I do photograph are conventionally attractive. It happens to be one of the things people focus on a lot, how attractive the person is in the photograph rather than the photograph itself.
Yeah. And
I remember back in the day feeling so, I guess, insecure or down and out. Like, maybe my work isn't that good because if I had this pretty person I'm photographing, would anyone want to book me or shoot with me or anything like that? Nowadays, I use it as my advantage.
Good.
Full disclosure. I mean, I know it's like, oh, your moral compass. Come on now. Advertisement's a thing. You put a dangly thing in front of a cat, they're attracted to it, they want to go for it. And that's the thing with this question. I see someone doing something, I get so inspired, I get my life from. I'm like, yes. Either they doing photography on film, digital, using crazy lights. I get so inspired, so motivated. Like, I could be like feeling so lazy one day, feeling so like, ugh. I see somebody's like shoot or something, I get up.
It's like an inspirational competitiveness, and it's not like I need to get you. It's like, oh, you're out here doing you. Okay, I need to like do something with myself. I need to step up. I feel like motivated. If you're doing this, okay, I'm gonna be doing it too.
Excuse. I'm just sitting here like, come on now.
Yes.
So, same question.
For me,
it's gonna be good, y'all. Don't let me down.
No, I think that for me, oh God, what is it that triggers me?
Is it music? Is it?
I think for me, it's like weird, like moments that happen throughout my day, or things that I look at, or things that I'm around. So, for example, I went to the beach this summer, and being at the beach felt so relieving, and it felt like, like a fresh start. So when I came back from that, I felt rejuvenated. I felt like, okay, I need to start getting ready to do some stuff, and so I got a tan, and
be like the location.
How
you felt the location. So you kind of get rejuvenated. So when you come back to your home or whatnot, you feel like, okay,
yes,
let's do this.
Like, perfect example, New York. Anytime I come to New York, and I think this is for everybody, you feel this sense of like, I don't know, like inspiration, urgency.
That's the.
You're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like right now, like, bitch, I'm on time.
Yes.
But like, it feels good. It feels inspirational, and that's what gets my juices flowing.
Do you ever purposely go places to get the juice going? Like, let me get out of town. Let me go here because I know I'm in a slump. Do you ever purposely do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Far and few in between, but the more that I'm getting older and more comfortable with myself, the more that's happening. And I think that's because I'm now like kind of I'm honing in on my creativity now.
Because sometimes you do know what makes you get motivated. For me, if I know I need to get motivated, I'm looking at things that I want to do.
Yes.
Seeing tutorials or seeing videos that are already made that people done, or photography. I know if I need to get motivated, I'm being a little bit too lazy. Let me go look at this. Let me go see this. Let me go, and I purposely do that.
Yeah. And going back to what you said, I think jealousy, a healthy dose of jealousy, can get your creative juices flowing.
A healthy dose of jealousy?
A healthy dose of jealousy. Dose of jealousy. So if I'm looking at, let's say if I'm looking at another model, and
But isn't that just
they shot.
inspiration?
Well, but let me say this: I'll look at a model, right, and I'll see that they shot somebody. Perfect example, Aaron. I love him so much, and
But
anytime that
he has a similar look to you with the hair.
Yes, but that's why I'm so like zoned in on him, and like when I see his shoots, I'm like, okay, bitch. Stop it right now because you're doing too much.
Wait a minute.
In the best way. So when I see shit like that, I'm like, okay, bitch. Okay, let me do something with myself because it's just so good. It's so good.
I love that. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. Feel free to check out DesnudoMagazine.com for our latest issues, as well as to shop our apparel. All right, back to the show. And we are back.
Back again.
Basically, I want to talk about to Ed about his, because I met him in Orlando, but you're from Philly, right?
Yes.
How does that work? Because you have family in Orlando, which is where you're, associated with.
Yes.
But you also have family in Philly, which I feel like is bigger than your family in Orlando.
Correct.
So what's the timeline?
So I was born and raised in Philly.
Got it.
And growing up until I was like 18 years old, I was in Philly. And then I was just kind of like going through, like I went through high school, got out of high school and had all these odd jobs. Oh. And then I had my dad who was living in Florida.
Got it. Okay.
That's where the connection is. So he hit me up and was like, hey, he saw that I was going to Miami and stuff like that. He was like, how do you like Florida? I said, I love it. And he recommended me moving there with him. And granted, like me and my dad are great, but we had a moment where he was incarcerated and I didn't see him for a while. So it was like me and him reconnecting. So
and
I took that.
Also from Philly?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll do a 2-week stay. I went there, ended up falling in love, and then moved there.
Oh.
And I was there for 4 years.
4 years.
4 whole years.
Wait. So when we came back up here, you went back, stayed in Orlando for a little bit longer, and you came up. That was the last year?
Yep. That was the last year I was in Orlando.
I thought it was longer than that. I thought you'd been in Orlando longer than that.
I think it was
4 years?
Yeah, it was just 4 years there. And then after, like, when we came back, you stayed and I went back, I was there for maybe like 6 months. And then
Here's the backstory, guys. So in 2013, I decided not to renew my lease in my apartment and come to New York and just try it out. Ed here decided to come with me. We got on the bus.
18-hour ride, and I will never do it again in my life. It was so bad.
18-hour ride to New York. We stayed with some friends for a week, maybe?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I stayed, and Ed went back to Florida to work some things out. 6 months.
Yeah, because what I needed to do was I needed to transfer my job.
Because you worked at the bank.
Yep. I want to transfer my job and then like do all of that. So just I'm just like secure, and it worked. I did it. I just ended up moving back to Philly versus New York.
And Philly was supposed to be a pit stop before New York.
Correct, and it ended up.
Is it still being a pit stop?
Yes. I just don't have a time frame on when I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a pit stop. Like I honestly like my skills and my talents are not being used in Philly the way that I want them to. That's why I come to New York.
That's why I left Florida. I mean, I could have done something similar in Miami, but I feel like it was just a minor upgrade.
Yeah.
But I think New York is a big upgrade.
Yes.
For someone who does anything entertainment wise or,
Agreed.
Something like I do photography, so like it's the place to be.
Yeah.
I feel like Miami would have been too safe of a spot. It's like because I've traveled to Miami and I realized like, oh, this is where it's at.
See, Miami is a good destination spot to like go and maybe make connections.
It's a good spot to feel the industry out first.
Yes, like go to parties and network there, and then like New York is where you balls to the wall. LA is where you like make more connections and possibly like shit starts to just happen. Italy. And then you go to Italy to like get married and just fall in love.
Get married? No, you keep the hustle going.
But I mean, you know, Italy is still romantic.
Is it romantic or is that what movies tell you?
Have you been?
No.
Either have I.
All
so
right.
I mean, it's
so
assumptions
we
at this point.
I assume it's the worst. You think it's the best.
I really want to experience it.
Okay, so you decided to go to Philly, pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
You're currently there.
Yep.
Did you ever live on your own when you were younger in Philly, or that happened to Florida?
That didn't happen till Florida.
Got it.
When I moved to Florida was when I started to grow up. And then, that was my first official, like, hey, Ed, you're on your own, do your thing. And then when I moved back to Philly, I moved back in with family and then eventually moved out.
Now, the family aspect in Orlando, reconnected with your father, he has his own slew of children.
So it's with my father, it's me and my two sisters.
Got it.
And that's it. It's just us.
Oh, they are in
of his
his
him.
kids.
Yeah, and then I have a brother who's from a different dad, but it's us. And then I have two stepbrothers.
Step siblings.
Step
They're
siblings.
in Florida.
Yes.
Got it.
One of them's in Florida. One of them is in PA. We're all kind of scattered.
Yeah. Okay.
But everybody's grown up now. Two of us have kids, multiple kids. Not me. Two of us are gay. Three of us are gay. And one of us is like still figuring himself out and shit like that. Not sexually, but like worldly, likewise, yeah. But yeah, it's us. When I moved to Orlando, I was with him. Moved on my own.
Got it.
And then that's when we went to did the whole 2-week New York thing. Ed and Dion take New York. And it was fucking fun. I experienced so much with you.
We met so many people.
It was my first time walking into an agency.
Right.
My first time walking into an agency. And I was like, what the fuck?
And we befriended the people at Rough Skin.
Yep. We had a whole shoot at Rough Skin, the actual store.
Yeah, the actual store.
Yep.
That's what's crazy about it. I felt so... Going back to my fellow photographer peers being some type of way, I remember back in the day, Rough Skin used to send me things, and they wouldn't send them things. And they were like, I don't understand. Because, they had better equipment than I did. They went to college for photography. Why you?
Connections, baby, connections. That's what it's all about.
I kind of low-key have the same question, why me as well? Maybe because I happen to photograph people who are attractive, so it's like, oh, okay, well, let me send him our things. Or, I don't know what it is, but it was interesting that going to New York and being able to connect with one of the manager of the store and kind of being able to shoot in the backyard and do things.
Yeah,
and it was such
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience for me. It really got my feet wet. Dion threw me in that bitch like, oh, you're gonna be a stylist today. Here
we were,
and I was
back shoots all like that whole time. We hit the ground running. Basically.
Yeah. And mind you, I am no stylist. I am no hairdresser. No nothing. And I definitely did. But that's what it is. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. It's about like just going with the flow. Because once you do that, you come out with masterpieces.
I wouldn't say that.
I would.
I mean,
I feel like that whole set, like you had models coming in and out.
Comparing to my work now to back then, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. All right, guy. What were you doing?
But like at the time,
it was a good experience for me.
Yeah.
A learning curve. I had to, first of all, learning about but experiencing having to walk. Because in Orlando, everyone has a car, or you're taking the bus, so it's not like a lot of walking.
We were so tired.
Yo, going to New York, traveling up the staircases, going to Subway. We went to Jamaica Queens, which was people were like, get back on that train.
Yes.
We were like, excuse me, what happened?
But that was by accident, wasn't it?
It was by accident. We didn't know, and we
went too far.
I thought wasn't there transit back in the day in Philly? No,
trains in Philly and trains in New York are completely different. Completely different.
It is.
We have an L. And that is just one side, two sides, one, and they both go that way. Where in New York, you sit on one platform that takes you down, under, up, top, all around, up, under, upside down, and then you're now at a C where you need to go to a D, and then the J pops up, and then the A is down there too. So, like, I'm telling you, I was fucking confused. But I've learned. Keep going, you keep going, and then you learn eventually, so...
Well, all right, y'all. Thank you so much, Ed, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me
on this episode. I've been like, I need to have it on the podcast. hopefully, I mean, you said you're coming back.
Yes.
To town.
Yes.
We can do another episode, hopefully.
Can we?
We sure can.
I have more to talk about.
Oh, perfect. And I want to hear about it.
Good, because I want to talk.
So let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at edcharm, EDCHARM. At
Charmed.
Not Charmed, not with an ED. Just Charm. Ed Charm on Instagram, on Twitter. My Twitter is a bit explicit, so fair warning. And
Pick your poison.
exactly. Twitter, Instagram, that Ed Charm. And then you can also follow my OnlyFans if you want to. And that's also under Ed Charm.
I guess next episode we'll get into that, the whole journey with that.
Yes. It's very interesting,
So
actually.
if you guys want to hear about that, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify. Also, it's on YouTube. People who are watching this on YouTube, give this video a thumbs up. Ed's information will be in a link description below. So for your convenience, go ahead and hit him up. Before we go, though, I want to know the story behind your username handle, Ed Charm. What is...
So growing up, I've always been told that I'm charming or handsome or whatever the case may be. I've always been told. Always been, yeah. And stop it, shut the fuck up. but just to be honest,
I just love myself.
Humbly speaking, no.
When Ed walks past the mirror,
shut up. No lies.
I see.
Anyway, so I've been told growing up that I was charming, this, that, and the fourth. Yeah. And when I went on Instagram, I wanted something that pertains to that, or just pertains to me in general. And I thought that because I was told that I was charming so much, that's something that I could, like, you know.
Ironically enough, that's how I got my name. My friends, sometimes I, will say some off the wall stuff. They're like, "Oh, D."
Oh, D.
Also, that is a common phrase in Orlando. You say "OD" when people are doing the most. It basically means overdoing it. OD.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Overdose. OD. I live in Philly, so opioids, they're all over the place. It's so sad.
And with that, we will see you guys next time.